What? What happened? Where am I? This isn't my usual spot. What's going on? Oh, well?
Hello there, Super Guru. I have a proposition for you.
What kind of proposition?
I just want you to do your normal review, but with a difference. This time you're going to actually review the full book.
And if I refuse?
As you have just noticed, you have a collar placed on your body. If you refuse to do as I say or do something to annoy me, you shall receive a painful shock. Now, if I were you, I would get to reviewing the book.
Okay, fine. Jeez. Hello and welcome to another session of Therapy and Panels. I guess today, not in my own free will. Ow! I mean, today we're gonna be going over one of comics' most popular bounty hunters. No, I am not talking about Boba Fett, but I'm talking about the main man named Lobo, created by Keith Giffen and Robert Slifer as a recurring character for the Omega series, which was a group of assembled renegades and representatives of conquered planets in the Vega system, fighting off a race called the Citadel. So, I guess without any other thing to say, let's dig into the Omega Men number 3. The cover is decent enough, showing off Lion-O dressed for a Kiss concert. I mean, Lobo. Yeah, I know, not what you expected, did you? Anyway, Lobo here has a woman strapped up to the front of his space bike for some insane reason I have no doubt about. We begin the story with a shot and some exposition about the Citadel regime nearly having control over the Vega system, taking over all the planets except for Euphorix. Euphorix is safe behind a planetary force field, completely impenetrable. Enraged at the holdout, the Citadel tries to land ships from their fleet on the ship itself, planting bombs over the entire globe in a calculated pattern, believing that will break the shield for their invasion. The euphoric defenses, however, cause the ships to prematurely detonate, which leaves the planet shields unscathed while dispatching the soldiers, leaving the Citadel leader furious. Hey man, don't be ashamed. It happens to all plants at your age. The Citadel is paid a visit by a man named Harry Hokum. What kind of name is that? Who seems pretty confident in himself, even approaching the murderous Citadel leader, jabbing a finger in his chest, and even saying that he can get Euphorix for the Citadel if they give him the chance. Dude, gotta give you credit. You got some stones on you. I definitely want to be able to do something like that. I'd be crapping my pants. We then cut to Callista, one of the leaders of the Omega Men and Queen of Euphorix, on the Omega Men ship, watching a news report that the Euphorix shield has been collapsed and the Citadel has been taken over. Fearing for her homeworld and upset that the one holdout of freedom is gone, Callista demands that the team warp through space to bring them towards Euphorix. When the ship ends up near Euphorix, they find themselves surprisingly in a meteor field, with the ship being ripped in half by a rock, occupying the same space the ship tries to manifest in. Barely able to keep the life support systems online, Callista sends out one of her corpsmen, Bob. I'm just going to call him Bob. Out to examine the main hull breach. This is when things get weird. The hole in the ship has already been plugged, but plugged by something organic. When heading back inside, Bob finds that the organic mass was actually a birth sac of some sort. Gross. And it explodes into bat-like creatures who seek out and absorb energy sources, chewing on power cables and draining the ship's engines. Also in the ship are 2 bounty hunters sent to the Omega Men ship to kidnap Callista, and this is where we are introduced to this chaps-wearing cowboy-styled man named Bedlam, and our main man himself, Lobo. Gaze at his purple hair and his peanut butter and jelly aesthetic. One thing that is consistent is his power and lack of morals, I gotta say. Just look at the flick of the finger, he explodes the head of a crewman. Jeez. The hunters split up and make their way through the ship, attacking everyone they see. And they aren't fooling around. Bedlam runs into a major Omega Man character, Harpus, and rips her wings off just for fun. And then we see just how early Lobo is a bit more educated, intelligent, and strategic, as he was the one who sent the energy suckers because he knew that they would feed on Callista and incapacitate her. Lobo relying on his brains and researching his quarries. This isn't the Lil Wade and Smash people guy we know these days. But that's it. Callista is captured, strapped to Lobo's bike, and brought to the Citadel. With Callista captured, Hokum has apparently integrated himself into the Citadel, suddenly becoming the main advisor, setting his plans in motion. And Hokum shows why he deserved this role, as the news report was just a fake image to bring Callista back to the area, as the secret to the force field is in her mind. So the book ends on a rather grotesque image with the easiest way to obtain the information. Not by torture, but to send this weird John Carpenter's The Thing equivalent into her cell, which apparently can absorb its prey and essentially become it. A perfect copy complete with all of her memories. With Callista captured, will the force field's secrets be revealed to the Citadel? Well, that'll have to be for the next issue of the Omega Man. But for my final diagnosis, the story in itself is interesting, and for Lobo's first appearance, definitely not what I was expecting. Going off of what I've always known from Lobo, this isn't what I was expecting for his first appearance. But apparently, it seems that after some time with this book, he was floating around in the wherever they put their ideas until the 90s, when he got a major redo on his character, becoming the Lobo that we know today, which, funny enough, he was supposed to be a big parody on everything the 90s was, with the leather jacket and the bike stuff and all that, but he ended up becoming a big major character that everyone loves. He is also rewritten to be known as the last surviving Zarnian. And with that is the end of today's session. I'd like to thank you all for attending another episode of Therapy and Panels. If you liked the video, please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. As always, I am the Super Guru, signing out. There, I did your review. You happy?
You did an excellent job, Super Guru. You may go now. But remember, I will be watching you.
You'll never know.